Okay, let's go.
Welcome. What's up, Jay?
Man, what up, Reg? What's happening, baby?
Oh man, it's all good. It's all good and gravy. We're gonna get started again. We've had some technical difficulties in the past, and we're going back to square one, baby.
Man, let's get all the microphones out of here. Let's get all that stuff out of here. Let's just get back to the conversations, man.
Right. Let's get back to the conversation. We got a good topic today.
Yeah.
I do want to welcome everybody to the JayNReg No Pause podcast, where we talk sports, life, and
whatever the hell else going on.
So listen, we've had some people out in the social media stratosphere talking some stuff about some of the stuff going on with grassroots basketball, prep school basketball, so forth and so on. So we decided we was going to get together and bring a couple of guys on the show today so we can get down and dirty about what's going on. First, I want to welcome JB. We call him JB. His name is Jermain Bryant to the JayNReg No Pause podcast, man.
Thank y'all for having me.
And we also want to welcome AG. What they call him AG, Adrian, Garland, to the JayNReg No Pause podcast.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Well, we appreciate both of y'all for coming, man. JB, I call him JB. JB is an official, has been a coach, started his own program. Talk a little bit about JB, where you started from as far as basketball is concerned, and what you're doing now, and what you've done in the past.
Man, I actually when I moved here, I got with
Moved here from
Jonesboro, Arkansas.
Okay.
I was coaching Pee Wee football. I think I was probably looking pretty energetic. Had a kid that was okay.
Right.
Pretty energetic for sure.
Yeah. Kelvin Robinson was like, man, we're gonna play some AAU. I'm from the country, man. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know how it worked. And he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna play some AAU." So we got with him. My introduction to Don Williams and skills and drills, and I had no clue.
Right.
I played basketball in high school. I started on a team in Newport, Arkansas. But man,
I was finna say now, JB, we talked a jillion times. I asked you where you from. You ain't never said no Jonesboro.
I did know he was from Newport.
Yeah, it's always been Newport. Hey, man, like I said, don't get on here and
No. I moved here from Jonesboro.
You better rep Newport.
I moved here from
You better rep Newport.
But yeah, once I got here, man, like I said, I played ball in high school.
Right.
I was a quarterback on a state runner-up team. We lost to Pine Bluff all the way 3 years in a row. But we won more football games in 1 year than we won basketball games in 3 years. And I was the starting point guard on that team. So we didn't know anything about skills and drills. First time I ever played in the gym was in the 7th grade. So just didn't know how things work. But like I said, ran into Coach Kelvin Robinson, and he put together, we were Arkansas Hawks team. I had no clue. The Hawks had this history and all that. We were just playing some ball, and that's eventually how I ended up meeting Jason.
Okay. Yeah. So you've coached AAU in the past. You also started a program. You started your own program.
Yes, man. So like I said, I was with Kelvin Robinson and Jason and them, and then eventually started my own team. I had a team called Closeout.
Right.
And I started, kind of figuring out how it worked. And I was like, man, I can't keep paying for this. Had some friends in the industry that are from, really close to Newport, from Augusta. Old Petey Durham and Kelvin Parker, they were with the Wings.
Hey, Petey, what up?
And man, I tried my best for a couple of years to get in. And they wasn't budging at first.
It's hard to get in.
Yeah, it was hard to get in. So I went straight to the man.
Right.
Messed around and somebody gave me Ron Crawford's number and I texted him and was like, man, I just started a program in Jacksonville Lighthouse. I got a couple of kids over here and this and that, and then I get a call.
So you started the program at Jacksonville Lighthouse?
Yes. First game ever won.
Right.
First championship, conference championship, I won it.
Right.
And it without a gym.
Talk about a couple of players you had over there.
Man, I had Gerald Dokes before anybody knew who he was, man.
Before anybody knew who he was.
Nobody knew who Gerald Dokes was.
And Gerald Dokes was a star, man.
Yes.
Yeah, I made him a star.
Yes. Get him over there. And like I said, I come from like the AAU background. So it was kind of, you got to go get the players.
Right.
So I see Gerald Dokes officiating at the boys club. And I gave him a tick, actually, for not giving me the ball at a timeout.
Right.
He was mad at me because I didn't blow a foul for him. But I was caught up watching him play.
Right.
30 points in a boys club game. The next thing I know, I'm teaching 5th and 6th grade social studies and English language arts. And I see this kid walking in the hallway with a uniform on. So I was like, uh-oh. And by that time, I had brought Kelvin Parker over with me.
Right.
I called him on the phone. I was like, man, I think things going to look up. I got a 6th grader over here.
Right.
He's like, JB, a 6th grader?
Yeah.
I said, he ain't an average 6th grader. Yeah, so we start playing. Like I said, we didn't have a gym. So we're practicing at the boys club. A lot of people think thought I lived in Jacksonville because I was part of that community for so many years. But Gerald Dokes kind of turned it into something. Right. We played, I'll tell you, man, I hadn't won a whole bunch of games when he got there. Probably in like 3 years, we probably had won about 10 games in 3 years. But when he came, we played culture change. We played Jacksonville Middle School, and they just so happened to have Devontae Davis, right?
Right.
Devo
Davis. And when I tell you, when we played them, I wasn't expecting this, but everybody who was anybody in grassroots, they was at the gym in Jacksonville. When I say crazy, Gerald ended with like 32. Now these are 8th graders. No, 7th graders. 32. He might have had 2 assists, but he was letting it go. But Devo had a more complete game. Maybe 24, but about 12 assists. Like, I looked it up in the stat book. He was part of like 90% of the points. Somehow they ended up beating us by 4 points.
Right.
I have yet to see a middle school game score like this.
Right.
We end up losing 82 to 76.
Oh wow.
With some 7th graders.
With some 7th graders.
And Dokes was dunking.
Yes.
Dokes was dunking back then. Yeah.
Yes.
That's how I remember that. I remember hearing about a kid that was dunking in 7th grade.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you started Jacksonville Lighthouse. So AG, you're currently coaching
down in Hope,
Arkansas. Your hometown.
Hometown. And going back to the grassroots thing, I think I was probably the first one down in Hope in 95, 96 to start, even begin to do the AAU thing. That's when, y'all went back to the #1 AAU program back in the day. Yeah. I'm gonna have to say the Wings.
Okay. We had a show about that, just so y'all didn't know. We had a show about that.
I'll agree with you.
I said the Hawks.
Both of y'all have been affiliated with Wings, right?
Yeah, I coached them. Yeah,
a lot of people don't know it, but I was on that team with Naeem Page,
shout out Page. What up, Page?
Jason Flanagan, Darren Brown, Marjorie
D. Brown.
We had a nice group. Probably didn't have anybody over 6'6". And man, I'm talking about Lenardo, man, we was beating everybody in the state.
Yeah, okay.
I'm talking about we were 16s then. We were playing Corey Nelson and them, beating them by 20, 25. But going back to it, but man, I got a late start in the coaching thing, and it was just some things I had to figure out. So basically, I was working at Mama L, started volunteering over there with Coach Shook and them, and learned a lot of things on the Shook 2 years I was there. Ended up getting an opportunity to go down the whole back home. Basically, man, I wanted to be with my mom, and here I am today.
Yeah, shout out to you, AG, man, of having opportunities here.
Right.
But choosing to go back home, closer to home, and taking care of home first, man. So shout out to that.
And one of the things that we try to pride ourselves on this show is bringing people on the show that pour into young people.
Right.
Gotcha.
And it's obvious that you guys have poured into young people over the years, so forth and so on. And that's what we try to do on our show, is promote the young people in this state to go bigger and better and further than just Arkansas.
Right.
And I think sometimes when I say we get so caught up in Arkansas. And that's one of the reasons why we want to talk a little bit today about what's, the state of what we would say the state of basketball. And what is you guys' opinion on the state of high school basketball? I'm gonna start with you first, JB. What is your opinion of the overall state of high school basketball currently as opposed to past years?
Man,
You've seen it for a while.
Yeah, I think it's some really high level players out here, man. I do think that the training has improved.
Okay.
Skill development is at a whole nother level now.
Yeah.
It was more initially about individual skill stuff, but you see more passing, cutting, more of the Curry game being taught.
Right.
It's positionless basketball, so there's really not a big. You got guys who are stretch everything, you know, like stretch 3, stretch 4, stretch 5. Everybody can shoot a 3, and like coaches are younger, so they don't have as much of a noose around the kid's neck as far as the shots he takes. So it's a whole lot looser than it was when I started coaching. The tallest kid on my team, 15 years ago, chances are he was not going to bring the ball down the court. And he
right.
for sure probably wasn't going to shoot it in the corner from 3. But that is not the case now. And I'm seeing it I'm seeing it at a very young age.
Do you feel like, and Jason, you can chime in on this as well, do you feel like the skill level is at an all-time high as far as the kids are concerned coming through now?
I do. I think the skill level and IQ. Kids are really, like I said, I got a 10-year-old, man, and I think he's a little bit further along. I got a 10-year-old and a 26-year-old.
What was you thinking?
Yeah, okay, how crazy is that, man? But our kids, our oldest boys played together. And the training was great. Don't get me wrong. I had never seen it before. Like I said, I didn't see skills and drills, so I met them.
Right.
But now, it's some high level guys out here, man, that are really doing some things with basketball, because I've been out of the game for 5 years. When the pandemic happened, I had a business, I left education, and now I'm back into coaching because I got a 10-year-old. And if your kid's not out there training and doing it all the time,
Yeah.
And all of you guys, I will say this here, all of you guys have, and all of you guys, I will say, have been involved and have been around some of the most talented young people that have come through the state. Whether we talk about a Khalil Garland, you know what I'm saying, that's your nephew, ain't it? A Khalil Garland, a Colin Mordrew, you say a Devo Davis, a Nick Smith Jr., you got one in your household. Well, you're not in your household right now.
Malik. Malik Monk.
Some of the most talented young people that have come through the state over, 10, 12 years, so forth and so on. What do you think is going on now? What are we lacking?
Man, to be honest, and I think this is what got me to the podcast. I shared a status about Luke Moore on last week.
Right.
And man, I want to clear that. Don't get it twisted. I'm definitely for the prep school thing. I'm all the way for it, because for the simple fact, man, and it goes back to the parents. Man, nowadays a lot of these parents and kids, they're missing the motive on what playing basketball, what we play basketball for. 9 times out of 10, playing basketball, using the sport, is for getting a free college education.
Yeah.
Now I think parents and kids are misconstruing it to whereas they think if they play basketball, they're gonna jump up and they're supposed to go to the NBA. It don't work like that though. You know what I'm saying? You got kids that's out here really putting in work, and then you got some kids that, man, they go home every day and after practice, they go and play video games, this, that, and other. So I feel like, man, the reason I put the status up, the state of Arkansas basketball, it could be at another level, and that's why a lot of kids are going prep, because I think the competitive circle has gone away, especially as far as, like, you got Jason's son, Jacob, he going to prep, Mudry going to prep, Moore's going to prep. You know what I'm saying? Kids are getting away from here because the thing about it, I think a lot of Arkansas people has gotten it twisted to whereas they want what's best for Arkansas. They don't want what's best for their kid.
Right.
So I think that's where it's coming into play. You know what I'm saying? It's not the fit for what is best for this kid. It's what's best for Arkansas basketball, or you know what I'm saying? Everybody will think that if you this 4-star kid and you playing in Arkansas, you supposed to go up on the hill. No, it don't work like that because the hill don't fit for everybody. University of Arkansas don't fit for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I'm real big on the prep thing, and man, I feel like a lot of talent has gotten away from Arkansas. You know what I'm saying? Because of the competitive level has, I think it has kind of toned down a little bit for the simple fact, like I say, man, these kids are leaving here because, and in Mudru's situation, Jason probably had his reason for his son to go prep. Well, Mudru, his dad was looking at the thing, he was like, man, he said, I don't see any reason for my kid to be playing up there. He said, man, he's scoring 25 and 30. How is he going to get better and transition to get ready to go to the next level? And he made a good point, because I was talking to him. I was like, man, it's going to be kind of tough on the kid leaving home his last year. You know what I'm saying? That's a big deal. And he was like, yeah. But he said, man, he just going to have to mature early. And, that was his reason for wanting his son to go to prep because, he's trying to get him ready for the next level.
And I hear you saying something. I'm going to go to you, Jay. I hear you saying something. Because the reason why Mordrew going prep don't have to be the same reason why this particular kid goes to prep or this particular kid goes to prep. Your Mordrew's reasoning for going to prep may be different from Lanier's reason for going prep. And Jason, sounds like you want to chime in. I want you to chime in.
So I think that, going back to the original question about what are we lacking?
Yeah, what are we lacking in this state?
I think you, AJ, you were hitting it perfect, man. You talked about the competitive nature. Like, we don't play each other anymore. Right? I remember back, you talking about the Devo and Gerald playing against each other. Well, Chris Moore and all those guys would all come down to Little Rock. Back when we played, man, we had the state tournament. Right? I remember being in Horace Mann every year, and it was, I thought Horace Mann was an arena because it was loud, it was crazy, and it was Arkansas basketball. You know what I'm saying? You had them guys up in there, and they went at it. Nowadays, I don't want to play against JB because I don't want JB to beat me. And then now JB gonna be on social media talking, and now I can't find JB no more, and he left.
JB won't play me no more.
Right? And so now you lose that iron sharpen iron, right? And now we don't get better because we all over the place. And so now you look up and I got my kid or just another kid, anybody. I've only played some of the top players once or twice in their life. Right? And we stay in the same zip code, same area code, right? And so it's I think what's lacking is we got to get back to playing each other. I think that a lot of that is some of the coaches' egos, some of the parents' egos, and things like that. Sometimes it's all right to be number 1, 2, 5. It's all right to be number 8 in the 8th grade. You ain't got to be number 1 in the 8th grade. You know what I'm saying? That gives you something to fight towards in the future.
And you know what I'm saying? I get 100% where you're coming from, because if you look at it with this last class of young people that from this state that went pro, we got 4 probably the top 20 kids in the state that went prep. You get what I'm saying? When you're talking about Adrian Chronister, that was at Rogers, he's at Sunrise Christian. Luke Moore is at Sunrise Christian. Jason's son Jacob is at Compass Prep. And then you got Colton Mordrew that went to Oak Hill Academy. I think what people miss, and like kind of would piggyback off what you're saying, what people miss, what about the reps that Cortland's going to get every day in practice? What about the reps that Jacob is getting every day in practice? What about the reps that Aiden Chronister and Luke Moore are going to get in practice every day that they may not necessarily get at Rogers High School, or they may not necessarily get at Maumelle High School, or they may not necessarily get at Springdale Hall?
That's huge, man. And like with me coaching girls, I probably got maybe 2 good girls. Well, the other 8, you know what I'm saying? So in practice, it's no competitiveness. You know what I'm saying? Because the simple fact, like you say, those reps are very important, because if you got a kid in practice killing everybody, what good is that doing? That's not helping them. You know what I'm saying? So, people have their reasons for making the decisions that they make. And like I say, man, you know, everybody was talking about, they was thinking, JJ going prep, you know what I'm saying? I was like, nah, I said daddy too loyal to Arkansas, you know what I'm saying? I said, if he gonna prep, it will probably be his last year, but, you know, that's just like, you know, with Jacob leaving and Mojo leaving, like, JJ finna run the state, you know what I'm saying? Hands down. Like
him and my guy, we can't forget about my guy Jay Sean down there.
Oh, Jay Sean gonna do his thing.
He's gonna do his thing.
He gonna do his thing.
But that's what I'm saying. People think kind of what you're saying when Jason makes his decision to allow his kid to go to Arizona Compass Prep. It's not about what's best for the state of Arkansas.
Not at all.
It's about what's best for this young man and his maturation moving forward. Because here's the thing about it. His future's bright. Moju's future's bright. Chronic's future's bright. Luke Moore's future's bright. All them kids ain't gonna go up on the hill.
They're not.
No.
Let's just be honest.
They're not.
But I have a different outlook on the prep school thing.
Talk to me.
Because this is how I look at it. It's kind of like sports is what I'd say is it's the universal equalizer. You either can play or you can't.
Yeah.
Right.
One of the two.
At the end,
It's like lifting weights. Once you get under that weight, either you can lift it or you can't.
can lift it or you can't, man.
That's
But
true.
it's also like the Nipsey Hussle song. The circle gets smaller, everybody can't go. Right. So everybody ain't Jacob Lanier.
Yes.
Everybody ain't Cortland Muldrew. And I think I'm not gonna say we because I'm not, but a lot of people are delusional about what their kids can do. Sunrise Prep or Oak Hill Academy, they not coming here looking for no 5'7" kid, right? Like it's and I don't want
Preach, JB.
Yeah, I don't want people to think that everybody get to go, because that's not what that is. Those kids who are going, I bet you we can go pull up hours of footage of them working out by themselves with one of the highest trainers out there. I can remember Jacob with the Lanier leap. You know what I'm saying? Like way back then.
Forget about that.
Yeah.
But
Like they been
I
like.
don't mean to cut you
Go
off,
ahead.
but that's another thing where parents get it misconstrued. You know, they don't invest in their kids. You know what I'm saying? They don't make them put that type of time in. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
That's true, man.
Right,
That's
but you
so
can,
true.
and you can look at it. This is how I look at it. Coaches, college coaches. And I'll never forget talking to. I talked to Shaka Smart.
Yeah.
Before he was Shaka Smart.
Right.
Young coach, brilliant.
Young, brilliant coach, man. He had just got that job at. I don't even think they had announced the VCU thing.
Yeah.
So he was like sneaking around. I ain't gonna say sneaking around, but coming around the gym trying to hit coaches on the leg. Hey, what's up with that kid right there? You know, kind of whispering to you with his back to you or whatever. And he was like, man, we want some studs. All you gotta do is, you know, pull up our roster online and see how many 5'9" kids we got. We want them guys. He said, you probably ain't never heard of my school. He said, but I want them players too. So the Dukes want the Jacob Laniers,
right?
And the Virginia Commonwealths want them too, and UCA want them too. It's a big drop off, man. And I don't want people to believe that everybody get to go to prep, because that is not going to be the case. It's not going to be the case.
And I agree. I agree with the part that everybody don't get a chance to go. But I do want to say to this, there are some 5'9" to 5'7" that can make it. To me, I don't want to put the message out that if you 5'7", 5'9", less than 6 foot, you can't make it. But the thing is, I think there's a certain style of play that you have to have. What I think that people miss out on, and parents miss out on, a lot of times that 5'7", 5'9" kid has had the motor skills. He was the best kid when he was younger, when all the tall kids were lanky and falling all over the place like little Bambies, right? And so that kid probably grew up, JB, scoring the ball. That kid probably grew up with the crowd going crazy because he or she, you know, was the lightning rod. But now when you get to this level, you don't need the 5'9" to score.
No.
You know, and if kid isn't mature enough to be 5'10", and run a team, turn down shots, get the other guys going, get Mojo going, get Chronister going, they don't need him. So if you come in there and you getting in the way because you're gonna do your little 5'9" stuff and you going in there with 6'10s,
Right.
That's not gonna pay the bills.
Right.
So what I wanna throw out to you and just state my opinion on it is because you 5'9s, 5'10s, y'all got a shot too.
Right.
But you gotta be an absolute damn dog.
Man, and
You
I
gotta be a
don't
dog.
want to take over your narrating part.
No, you good.
Man, you know, and
Man, don't get on here being all shy.
No, be AG.
But,
You need
you know,
to be
and-
AG.
Man, don't do this. Don't
There's
get on here.
a couple of things, you know, questions that I want to ask y'all, you know. But number one, and what you talking about 5'7", 5'9", you know, I see these people, you know, people do the rankings or whatever.
Right.
What do you guys feel like as far as ranking go? How do kids get ranked?
Well, I got my opinion on rankings. We've talked about rankings before on shows in the past, and this is just my opinion. This is just my opinion. These people out here that's ranking third graders and fourth graders is just taking these folks' money.
I wish I had thought of it.
Let me just keep it real to everybody
I
out
wish I had
there
thought of it.
they just taking these folks' money. Because I'm gonna give you a prime example. My daughter played volleyball. My daughter played volleyball back when she was in high school and that sort of thing. And these different subscriptions would send mail to the house and say, if you pay such and such, such and such, such and such, we're gonna put you on the rankings.
Right.
That's what they do.
You get what I'm saying? So I don't think we should be out here. And mind you, that list means something to somebody. But my personal opinion, I don't think we should be out here ranking third graders. Because that same third grader, that's 4, 6, maybe 4, 6 in the 8th grade, and the 9th grade, and the 10th grade. You get what I'm saying? That's just for, I guess, just for those people's likings, in my opinion, as far as ranking.
But that wasn't his question, though. What was your question? What do we think about rankings?
No.
How do you get ranked?
Yeah,
Like,
right. What do you think rankings are based off of?
In what grade?
Probably, let's say, after the 10th grade.
Now I will say this here: Nick Smith Jr. Nick Smith Sr. them are doing some things. Byron Jinks and them are doing some things. But here's the thing about it: if they not playing against one another, if they not going against one another and just getting at it, then how can we rank them?
You can't.
Right. If you don't see them all, like if you don't see every last third grader, then how can you really say that one of them is the best?
Go ahead.
That thing with Nick and them, those are my guys from Jacksonville. Shout out to Nick and Ryan Maxwell.
They doing some good stuff.
Some real good stuff. They were able to bring in the guys. You know, the right guys. You know what I'm saying? Those dudes.
Yeah.
But if you can't bring the dudes in, like I'll give you a prime example. I know a 5th grader, right? Who is his daddy's team. Everybody went on vacation one weekend, but Nick Smith and them had the second leg of their ranking tournament, right? The showcase. So this father who coaches his kid takes his kid. Ryan Maxwell calls him and says, "Hey man, I know your team not gonna be in it, but I got this guy who's got a team. He needs some players.
Come on, play with them.
Come play with them, right?" Well, this guy's daddy doesn't know that the guy coaching them is one of the writers for the ranking, right? And the guy's daddy has no clue, right? So the kid's daddy sees it on Instagram that his son is one of the players to watch. Guess what the guy told his wife? You see this, baby? This is what he told his wife. He said, "You see this, baby? Make sure he don't." Talking about his son. Hey, that guy was me, right? Like, cause he in the 5th grade. He in the 5th grade. Like, he's not gonna be able to understand it. But it goes back to, like I said, I'm a basketball coach, but I'm a school teacher too, and I know how 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th grade work, man. It's about what kids like, parents love. So kids like that. Parents love to talk about it. And it brings just a whole nother element to like what parents have to deal with at home. Like I just.
So you were talking about you with the 10th grade and up, right? I'm thinking you talking about Mojo, kind of, sort of, or something like that.
Sort of, yeah.
Like, cause I saw a publication maybe a week ago, Rivals, something like that. They had it at like 1:30 or something like that.
No way.
And I said,
Damn, they ain't seen it.
damn,
No way.
that ain't it. That ain't it. Somebody missed the boat. I think, you know, because you posed the question to the group. I think what could have happened earlier, he could have got out of Arkansas a little bit more. Went to the CP3s. Went to the May Hoops camps.
What's that big one?
He could have went to Wing camp. He went to Pangos and stuff like that. And so,
that's big.
It's a few guys that are here in the 9th 27 class, 28 class. The CP3 was this weekend, and I've gotten a couple no's that they didn't go.
Really?
Well,
they got invited, but they
didn't go. And some, you know, for respective reasons.
Right.
But those are the times where you got to get outside of.
Yes,
that's true.
Like early, that 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th grade, we need to be banging our heads up against each other here. Banging our heads up against each other, seeing who was the best, blank. But after that 7th, 8th grade, we need to get on out of here.
That's when the rubber meets the road.
Go to the deep water is what I call it.
Yes.
And so like, cause I remember, and I want to give a shout out to that kid, Cortland, man. Me and my kid really appreciated something you did. What he did, man. There was an interview. We were in Vegas at the Pangos camp, Pangos All-American camp. And I'll pop a picture up so y'all can see it. But Jacob, Isaiah Seeley, and Cortland Muldrow were there representing the state of Arkansas. Wow. They, of course, they first seen each other, man, gravitated, what's up, how y'all doing, showed love, blah, blah, blah. Well, the first game, right, Cortland played against Jacob, right, first game. And Cortland's a hot name, everybody talking about Cortland, who's this new kid, blank, he's setting the world on fire. Well, they asked a question about, in one of the interviews, they said, hey, Cortland, so, you know, how many, have you been in camps like this? He's like, no, it's my first big camp. Red flag, right? Being honest, red flag. Then he said, they asked him the next question, something like, who is somebody here that you see their game that you really appreciate scoring the ball or whatever the case may be? All the kids there, there's 5-star kids there, there's UConn kids there, there's everybody. Cortland said, Jacob Lanier is a kid. So,
and now we're here at Pangos. Can you just kind of start off by walking us through what it meant to be, you know, get invited here and what's like playing on the stage?
It's an honor, really. Just coming out. This is my first big camp, so just coming out and showing everybody what I can do. It's a prestigious camp. A lot of top players come to it, so it's really just an honor, and I'm grateful to be here.
And what's the experience been like for you so far?
It's cool. I'm trying to get used to it. I've never really played like this type of thing, so just getting used to how everybody plays and meeting new people.
You mentioned there's a lot of top talent here. Who are some guys that have stood out that have been either fun to play with or play against so far?
Jacob Lanier was really good. Like, he's from Arkansas, so I played against him before, but he really impressed me yesterday when he was scoring and doing what he could do yesterday.
Yep. And if you kind of walk away
big time shout out to that. But to have the humbleness, because what we typically would do in Arkansas, we ain't gonna give props to the cat in Arkansas.
Right.
We gonna give it to the cat way over there.
Right. It's from New York.
Yeah. We got kids right here. So I just want to shout out that. But I think what we have to do to get back to your initial question, that was just me plugging that kid and telling how great of a kid is. And I will not forget that. And my kid won't forget that. But getting out of here, going and getting in situations where you're uncomfortable. You gotta get outside of your comfort zone. It can't, because I think sometimes people, they want to go to stuff where they know they're gonna be successful. Nah, you gotta go and deal with. I didn't make the top 60. I didn't make the top 90. I gotta go with egg on my face. I gotta come back home with egg on my face, and that's gonna either make that kid work harder or not. And then you can see what you got and who you got right then. So I think that's a part of it. I got more to say to it, but to give everybody time. But you gotta get out of here and go see those names. You know what I'm saying? They should have a list of who the top 20 kids are in your position, in a sense. Okay, so now where do I stand with them? Am I 21? Am I even on the list? And so now that's number 18.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got. You see what I'm saying? So I think that plays a part. We got to get outside our comfort zone as parents. We got to sacrifice. Don't buy them the Jordans this time. Pay for a camp. Pay for a camp. Who worried about how much the camp costs?
And I think it's a twofold thing. I think where we fail our young people sometimes, and I say we in this state, one, we don't look at the blueprint of somebody that's done it and just do that.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
They can't be right.
We don't look at the blueprint of somebody that's done it and just do it.
Yeah.
Because you, for some reason or another, you feel some type of way about that person.
Yeah.
So forth and so on. And then we don't do true evaluations on what level a kid is at.
Right.
Because you got a kid that may be a very, very good player, but he's a Division II player.
Right.
I'm a referee. I've seen from Division III NAIA on up to high major Division I.
Right.
I've seen them all. But we don't, when I say we, the gatekeepers, the powers that be, the ones that's coaching these young people, don't give true evaluations on where they should be and where they should be striving for. Now, if I'm a fringe D1 player, why wouldn't I be looking at all of the D2 schools if I'm a fringe D1 player?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But nobody's telling that kid you're a fringe D1 player.
Right.
And you be humble enough to see.
Yeah,
Because I'm telling you, it's some very, very talented and very, very competitive ball on the Division II level in this state.
It is.
You get what I'm
It
saying?
is.
And I've seen the highest level. The most talented player, in my opinion, that I've seen in person is Michael Beasley.
Yeah.
If you ever in high school, he's one of the most talented people that I've ever seen play the game of basketball because the game was so easy to him.
Right.
But I've also seen some very, very high level Division II players that for some reason or another thought they were Division I players, and you know what they end up doing? In 2 years they play in Division II.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
But I think that, that ultimately it's about getting out there and testing the waters. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You got to get outside of your comfort zone, even as a parent. You know what I'm saying? One of the things I made sure, and my big homies, and shout out to y'all for showing me, the ropes, is, while that kid is playing, man, I ain't just sitting in them stands.
Definitely.
I'm recording.
Right.
I'm recording.
Right.
I'm working too.
And I mean, that
I'm working
goes
too.
back to, with me, like I was talking about promoting, you know what I'm saying? That's where people get it misconstrued about the 3 stars, 4 stars, and 5 stars, you know what I'm saying? People don't really know the difference in a 3-star player, a 4-star player, a 5-star player, you know what I'm saying? But that goes back to, like, if you got a 5-star player, that's a player that's gonna have a major impact on going to the next level, and they got a big social media following, you know what I'm saying? A 4-star player gonna be one that he gonna get there, he gonna help out, you know what I'm saying, where he gonna do his due. And then you got your 3-star, but a lot of people, they don't know the difference in that, you know what I'm saying? And it plays a huge part.
And,
you know what I'm saying?
and peep this though, AG. As a 5-star, you got people recording for you.
Definitely.
You got people showing up.
You got a camera crew.
No, you ain't. They just show up. They already know where the game is.
Where you gonna be?
Yes.
Right? When you got a 4-star, you might have to be recording.
Right.
You might have to be editing. You might have to be
Yeah.
putting the music to the deal and this, that, and other. So please know that there's a job for everybody. You know what I'm saying? The kid ain't the only one out there working. As a parent, it gotta be, if your coach or your team isn't doing it, man, you gotta assume the role, right? You know what I'm saying? And so now you gotta be out there meeting it, and it's not just about recording, but it's going to shake people's hands. It's going to know who's who, right? So that's all I think a part of the equation.
What do we think? What do we think? And I'm posing this to all of you all. What do we think we are right now with our grassroots basketball here in the state? Where are we? Where are we currently? Are we where we need to be? Should we be higher? Should we have some teams, players? Because what I've seen is our top players, they playing for Brad Beal, they playing for Mocan, they playing for Pro Skills.
They play for Nike.
Okay.
That's good.
It's what it is.
Yeah.
It's at the end of the day, man, I'll say this. The Arkansas Hawks, it's a great organization. Like I said, that's when we got our start in AAU basketball.
Right.
But I can remember when that EYBL thing hit, it was something different. And that's what kids want to do at the end of the day. Not to take anything away from Adidas or any other shoe circuit. But at the end of
those circuits doing some good things, though.
Yeah, all circuits are. They are all. That's why I said not to take anything away from any other circuit. Like, I'm not even promoting the Nike circuit,
right?
But it's just how it's people. That's what they want to do. Like, your best player. Think about the route that a Nick Smith took. He ain't going to no prep school.
Yeah.
You know, he went to school in Arkansas every year, right? And ended up being, you know, played for Bradley Beal.
The number one player in the nation.
Right. He ain't go nowhere. Yeah. So if that talent is there, that is, if you talented like that, they are going to find you.
They gonna find you.
Now, the promotion part, I agree. You should promote yours. Yeah. You should put yours out there. But at the end of the day, Division I college coaches, Division II college coaches get fired if they don't win. So you can put every video you want to out there and put some animations to it and have them dunking and have fire coming from behind their head. Superman. When that coach lay his eyes on him, if he ain't doing what's on that video, he not gonna bet his mortgage on that boy. Right. And that's just, I mean, that's what I think.
So I saw your comments on the post. So, I mean, do you feel like coaches should reach out, like high school coaches should reach out to college coaches for kids?
That's a great segue.
This is what I think. And this might
you coach high school, so go ahead.
Yeah, this, I'll be honest with you. I really believe that as far as high school coaches go, unless they are connected in some kind of form with AAU, or they've had some superstar, where they've talked to a bunch of coaches, a lot of high school coaches, they're not connected with college coaches, right?
Exactly.
So chances are, a guy who's been coaching AAU, but he's been coaching for the Hawks, he's been coaching for the Wings, he's been coaching for Bradley Beal, he's probably more connected and probably got more Division I coaches numbers in his phone than the high school coach does.
Exactly.
So how do we put the onus on the high school coach, right? Chances are, the Division I coach ain't coming to your game. Now they going to the Peach Jam where they can see 200 4-stars at one time. They going to Vegas to the Adidas thing to see 250 Division I players at one time. So
what about your high school coach? But JD, what if so there's still the part about the chopping wood and carrying water. Like, if I ain't got a relationship, I ain't gonna get them, right? I want the kids to come to my program, right? Or I'm getting the kids in my program. I need to do the work. Like we always talk about in our house, if you're gonna be uncomfortable, I'm gonna be uncomfortable too, right? If you're gonna devote the time and energy, I'm gonna do the same thing. I can't go get a rebound, I can't shoot a shot, but I'm gonna do what I can do to make sure that the thing is successful. Right. So now, if that coach, because again, and I get this from a friend, they went to I think it was Arkansas Tech or somebody's college. It was a D2 college here in Arkansas. They were having a camp. Well, guess what? Who was working the camp? High school coaches. There was a couple guys from a staff, and I'm not gonna name that staff, but they were there working the camp. You know what that's doing? It's creating a relationship.
Right.
That means that high school coach, the people on their staff, they trying to get to that next level, right? But then also too, now that high school coach can call and say, "Hey, Downey, that's the Arkansas Tech coach. What up, Coach Downey, man." But now you can reach out to that person and say, "Hey, look, I know you." They're more like trust you. So if the high school coaches can get out of their comfort zone, right? They can build a relationship. So we can't just say, "Oh well, they ain't got the relationships," right?
That's true.
This is my opinion. I see some high school situations and coaches that are mishandling very, very talented young people. When I say mishandling them, if you got a stud on your team, you got a stud. You know a stud. You've been a coach. You've been a coach. You coaching. When the stud walk in the gym or the stud walking around the hallway, you know you got a stud. Not only do you know, everybody else should be knowing. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So when you get to practice and you get in games and stuff like that, and you got a stud on your team, outside of doing anything that's going to hamper the team, you should be promoting that stud. Because if you promote the stud, you're going to promote the program.
That's true.
And the coach is going to come.
That's so true.
And I think a lot of times these coaches mishandle the studs because they don't want the stud to be bigger than them.
Yeah, that's true.
But sometimes that stud, when you think about it, is bigger than them.
That happens.
You get what I'm saying?
Then he don't need the coach to promote him. If he bigger than what the coach is,
yeah,
then he should be playing Adidas or Nike.
So you just got to get it at summer ball. You can't get it in high school too.
I mean, I just don't see.
And then,
do you see? You ref? Do you see a bunch?
I've seen it all.
Hey, no, do you see a bunch of college coaches sitting in the bleachers watching kids?
I have. When Archie was playing,
it's certain things alive period.
When Archie was playing,
yeah.
When Moses was playing, that's what I'm saying. I go back to this. There's some people out there that have shown you the blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that a lot of people won't follow the blueprint. You get what I'm saying? When Archie was playing, everybody was there.
Yeah, I remember that.
When Moses was playing, everybody was there before he left and went to
what grade did Moses leave?
He left after this 10th grade. He left after this 10th grade.
Yeah, so he probably didn't have 20 coaches sitting in them bleachers. I'm just saying, like I know.
But we don't know whether it was 20 coaches at practice.
Maybe at Parkview. I didn't know Little Rock. Maybe
we don't know whether it was 20 coaches at practice.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
But what about but JB? And this is where it is. Some of that is on the coach. Some of that is on now Moses, Archie. They don't need you to press the button for them.
No.
Right? They just need for you to put them in the right situations. They need for you to coach the team and make sure that the thing is happening like it needs to be happening.
Right.
Who needs that coach is the second tier guy.
Right.
It might be the 3-star guy.
Right.
Or the guy that doesn't have stars, but he's really, really into the game. He's a really good player.
He got the stud.
The stud is gonna be fine.
Right.
The work needs to happen. Like I said, again, I said a D2 school is where the high school coaches were at. Now they develop a relationship because if we're a team, we got one that ain't here, but you two are the guys. Everything go through you.
Right.
And me and you, we nice role pieces. Right? Y'all straight. Y'all got them coming to see us. Matter of fact, they come to see y'all, and so since y'all here, they gonna see us.
Yeah.
But you got Duke coming to see you. You got Texas Tech. You got North Carolina coming to see you. Well, they ain't looking at me and JB.
Not at all.
Because he 5'9".
Right.
I'm a undersized 4. Right? So now the work needs to happen with the coach getting to know the D2s. Or the lower level D1s.
Well,
that's going to put this guy on.
But look,
that's going to put me on and say, hey, look, bam.
But guess what the problem come in with that?
Okay, talk to me.
Say, for instance, if the coach had time to reach out to a D2 coach.
Yeah, what you mean, if he had time?
He got the time.
If he find the
Got
time. But
we all want to be uncomfortable, right? Kids got to run line drills, right? So people got to be uncomfortable, right?
But then, guess where the problem come in?
Talk to me.
Well, that kid think he needs to be going D1.
Who says that?
That's the kid thinking. You know what I'm saying? So therefore,
I get what he's saying.
The coach is like, I done wasted my time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
and the thing about it, I see where you
D2 kid think he's supposed to be D1. Right.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna put it.
Wait. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Don't go weary and well doing. I can't control that. They looking at who they looking at. North Carolina looking at him. Duke looking at you. They not looking at me.
True.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
let me ask you this.
So now I got to be able to say, hey, look, these are the people that's here to see you.
When you were coaching AAU,
Yep.
and I know you coached the younger group. Let's say, for instance, if you were coaching the older group right now.
Yep.
Do you feel like you have time to reach out to for every kid? Do you have time to reach out to college coaches for each kid on your AAU team? It's not the same situation though.
On my AAU team, and then now, okay, so now let's think about it. If I'm here and I don't have D1 talent, and I got kids that are just playing to stay off the streets? Or I don't know what the scenario is. Paint the scenario for me.
I mean, that could be the case. You might have some kids that just just staying off the street.
Or am I a circuit team, Adidas, Under Armour, Nike?
Let's just say you got some kids that you got just trying to stay off the street.
So how many of them are players?
That's really not serious about it.
Oh, well, if they're not serious about it, then that speaks for themselves. That speaks for itself. Like, you can't fit a square peg through a round hole. It is what it is. Right. It is what it is. At the end of the day, if you got a list of 10, there's gonna be 11, 12, 13, and you gotta deal with the repercussions.
But that's my whole point in saying, if you got this high school coach, and then you know what I'm saying, you ain't got too many kids out here that's really serious about this thing now.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying when I say it's hard for coaches to say, well, Reggie, why I'm gonna reach out over here and you and your parents not serious about this? I'm wasting my time. You see what I'm saying?
But I think something that I mentioned before goes back to this here. If I'm a coach, and I don't coach, I referee, but I'm saying if I'm a coach, and there are coaches that's doing this, because I know some coaches, and I know they're doing this. They're evaluating each one of their kids.
Every day.
Any kid that wants an evaluation is going to get an evaluation.
Right.
And sometime during the season, whether it be in the preseason, whether it be doing off season or whatever, he's going to bring that kid in and tell him what his evaluation is of it. I evaluate you as a fringe D1, D2 player. And at some time during this season, I'm going to have 5 D2 coaches in this gym and 2 or 3 fringe D1 coaches in the gym to evaluate you because I evaluated you at that level. And you should be able to convey that to the kid and the parents. Yeah. And I think that's what's not happening.
But how common is that? Like
it's coaches out there that's doing it.
But it's not the norm.
But why is
it should be the norm?
It's not the norm. Why is it not common?
It's not the norm.
If you're going to expect, and again, I'm not saying everybody's going to make it. I'm not saying everybody's going to be D1 or D2. But why not expect things out of people?
Right.
Why if my kid is going to be uncomfortable, if I'm going to be uncomfortable, if we're going to follow the line of doing the thing and singing the fight song and sacrificing and 6 a.m.s and do the extra works and do the 7 p.m.s and all that stuff, why not expect it out of them? Now, if that kid ain't doing it, if the parent ain't doing it, that speaks for itself. But I'm saying the ones that are really taking it serious, the ones that are really getting after it, why not expect it out of them?
Yeah, because you got the coaches that just throwing the ball out there, and then you got the coaches that just get it and go, just throwing the ball out there. Then you got the coaches that's really, really entrenched into their program. Because what happens is that if you're doing that, then you're going to build your program.
That's right.
Because the kids are going to want to come. If I know if I have 4 sons, and I done sent 2 sons to this particular school, whatever this school is, and I know both of my 2 sons that's been there have been evaluated, have gotten a fair evaluation on what they've been coached well, so forth and so on. I'm gonna send the other 2 to them, and I'm gonna also tell old boy down the street. Or I'm gonna tell my homeboy. I'm gonna tell my brother. If nothing else, this young person's gonna get an evaluation. He's gonna get a legitimate, straight up evaluation on what type of player this particular kid is. And the coach is going to bring some coaches in to see this player during the off season, during summer camp. We're going to go to 5 different summer camps.
But you got some coaches that they're not telling that they're not telling their kids they're D1 material. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess it's like one of those things where I don't want you to think like that because it's going to have you thinking you more than everybody else on the team. You know what I'm saying? Right. And there's a lot of coaches that ain't giving those evaluations or telling those kids.
That's real. I think that's just my opinion on what's wrong with the state of basketball.
And that's a great question, though, AG, man. I think there's a give and take on a lot of different things, right? You know what I'm saying? Every situation ain't gonna fit exactly perfect, but I think that you got a select group of kids that are working hard, that are pushing themselves, that are serious about it. And everybody gonna say they serious about it, right. but when you call a volunteer practice, who show up? Yeah, right. Who show up on time? Right. Who stay late? Yeah. Who's bothering the coach to stay longer? Right? Who got the gyms open? Who's doing all those things?
And that's what I think. Like, just from doing it, some of those middle of the road kids or some of those high level kids There's some high level kids who don't work hard.
Yeah,
That's real.
Right? I mean, some 4 or 5 stars
That's real.
that the good Lord just touched them on the head. You can be a basketball player.
Yeah, bless him with some
Blessed
bless him with some size, bless him
Some
with
side, yeah,
athleticism,
and I can shoot, right? He got what we used to call, he got everything that I don't have to teach,
Yeah.
right? He 6'9", he 250, he can jump out of the gym. I don't care if he can walk and chew bubble gum because I can teach him how to dribble, pass, and shoot, right? But I can't teach him how to be tall.
Yeah.
That kid right there, yes. Now, everybody who ain't that type of kid, if they not tall, if they not stud athletes, if they don't have a great attitude, you have to show me something that's gonna help me keep my reputation intact when I call a coach.
That's real. That's real.
Right? Because I don't want to call who came. Look, we didn't have a GM. What's his name? His daddy coached the Razorbacks.
Brewer.
No.
Not Coach Razorbacks.
Before Nolan, Eddie Sutton. Sean Sutton was at Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State. We ain't got a GM. He came to Jacksonville Boys and Girls Club, right? Not cause we called him.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
He came to see which one of them was dude. You know what I'm saying? Like
That dude.
Which one is he?
He is him.
Right? And then he went to North Little Rock to see Moses at the time, right? So he made it was 4 kids, but he stopped with us, he went over there, he went over there, all in one circle. If I got kids that are borderline, if I got kids, cause you may have on a high school team, if you load it with everybody can go, you're gonna win the state championship. If you load it with kids, and I'm talking about
Not every time. You gotta have good coaching.
Hey, I'm gonna say this.
You gotta have some good coaching.
Hey,
Situations where
I'd rather have Jimmy's and Jones than X's and O's. Your X's and O's work better.
Jordan
Jimmy
only
and
won one
Jones.
state championship.
Exactly. I mean, they had a bunch of
Not
stuff.
saying it, but Jordan only won one state championship.
Hey, but
it
look,
landed hard.
Hey,
That's what you say.
but listen,
Rick.
Jordan should have won more than one state championship.
But out of the starting 5, everybody win.
Yeah.
That's one of them programs where
That's real.
everybody can go.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because the coach had to call somebody.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? In that situation, but who has that situation?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got 1, you got 2. Once they get to below Division 1, then you have to not evaluate. You have to evaluate the kid's talent, but you got to evaluate his drive.
Yeah.
You got to evaluate if he comes to school
What he
all
want.
the time.
I respect that. I respect that.
Because
What he want.
at the end of the day, if he not that kind of guy, and he 5'9", or he not that kind of guy, and he not working, then why would a high school coach even? You know what I'm saying? Like, cause the next time you have a kid, you're gonna be the little boy who cried wolf.
Yeah.
Like you called me down here from a Division II school in Utah to see this kid, and he trash. He get up here and he steal some computers or you know what I'm saying?
But JB, that's a good point. I'm talking more along the lines of the kids that don't have representation at the crib.
Right.
Exactly.
Like your kid, if he's good enough, regardless if coach is doing what he's supposed to do or not, I have no doubt he's gonna be fine. Right? I have no doubt he's gonna be fine. With my kid, regardless of whatever, he's gonna be fine. You got representation, people that understand it. I'm talking about the one that has the single parent home.
Right.
That the mom or dad, I'm not gonna say mom, I'm not gonna say dad, but single parent home where multiple kids in the house and the mom or dad gotta go to work.
Yes.
Right? And all they wanna know is, man, is my kid safe?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They thinking about today. Well, there needs to be somebody in the pot that's forward thinking. Right, and if we're gonna lean, because back in our days we looked at coaches.
We leaned on the coach.
Yes. Back in our day we looked at coaches
on
as
high
that's
school
my
coach.
dad.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
That's my such and such. Or they hold a spot in our. I remember Thrasher Boys and Girls Club. Right. What's the guy that ran Thrasher Boys and Girls Club?
Luther Armstrong.
Everybody know that.
Luther.
Jacksonville. Who ran the Boys and Girls Club?
Mike.
Come on. Everybody
Mike.
know that, right? You know what I'm saying? So we need those types the types that are bought in big time, because there's some people out here that they need it.
Right.
There's some kids out here that are slipping through the cracks.
Right. And I don't.
Right. And it's
It's
not about the 4-star, 5-star. I'm talking about the kid that, man, I'm hooping in the same shoes I go to school in.
Right.
They need somebody working for them. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. I agree. I agree.
And,
I agree.
And that goes back to the lower grassroots, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to Corona Smith, man.
Yeah, Coach K, big time. Coach K, big time.
He taught me a whole lot, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's where I get my start as far as that AAU thing goes. You know, I'm the type, I don't want to be with the big dogs. I want to be down here where I can see the progress, you know what I'm saying? I can see the kids coming up. I don't want these kids already developed, you know what I'm saying? And that makes a big difference, you know what I'm saying? To some people might not look at it like that because they don't have that passion to drive for it, but I mean, that's the way I look at it, you know, and like, you know, I work with Marlon Shelton right now, prime time.
Shout out, Luke. What up,
Luke? We don't get all the top kids, you know what I'm saying? But the kids that we do get, you know, we like to see the progress in them, or you know what I'm saying, the development in them.
And there's a love and respect for every level, but there needs to be a champion, a coach,
somebody.
There needs to be somebody. Like, I can't be at the lower level hating on the top level. I can't be at the top level hating on the lower level. Like there's a respect to every level, and if we just do that, like do your level, right? And you know,
stay in your lane.
And again, like I said, there was a time in this state, like what Jason was saying, in the summer, you was gonna be at Horace Mann,
it was
you was gonna be at Dunbar, you was gonna be at McClellan. There was gonna be a state tournament.
Yeah, with an AAU card.
With an AAU card.
Shout out Mr. Forrest.
Everybody played everybody.
Rest in peace,
and,
Mr. Forrest.
And the cream rose to the top.
Right.
That's what
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Hey, you got people from every corner of the state that
and
meet up
then
here.
guess what happened when you lost? You went home and you got better.
Yes.
Right? And that needs to happen early. That's what needs to happen early.
Yeah.
And so then now you can figure out who's who and what's what. And then later on, you be like God and get them deeper waters.
Yes.
Right.
Not I lost, now I'm hating or and, you know.
I still go back to this here. I mean, we on the boys' side, we need to do something different than what we're doing.
We got
My guy, Ed Peter Durham, he got the blueprint on the girls' side. He got the blueprint.
He killed it.
Oh yeah.
And he's promoting girls on the national level.
Yeah.
But what he's done is that he's done the flip of what everybody's doing to our boys.
Yeah.
They're going and grabbing our top ones. Mocan, Brad Beal, Blake Griffin, you name it. They go and grab our top ones and they go and play for them. What Peter does is he get the top ones and he go grab a top one from Louisiana. He go grab a top one from Texas, so forth and so on.
Yes.
And he put them with his girls.
Oh yeah.
And look,
Yeah,
he got two girls right
experience
now
with him.
on his team. Both of them got LSU offers.
Yes.
One from Camden, Arkansas, and one from she's from Louisiana. But they both got an LSU offer. And then one girl got a South Carolina offer.
Yeah.
That's the best. I mean, that's the best
Yeah.
on the women's side.
Nobody has done it like Petey with girls.
Yeah.
My first experience with the Wings, I was his assistant.
There you go.
And it was the same way with the boys.
Mm-hmm.
Like we had a team, and these kids had all played for different people over the years.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, when it was time to sign, everybody got a ride.
Everybody got a ride.
Everybody
can eat.
Yeah,
I think
everybody.
that sometimes we get in our own way.
Yeah,
Get in our own way.
Absolutely. Because you gave the blueprint, but on the boys' side, because Petey did a hell of a job. Shout out Petey and what he does. But on the boys' side, how? You know what I'm saying? How and who? Those are all my questions with some of the stuff on the boys' side.
JB made a good point. I mean, here's the thing about it. I don't know whether you remember this, but there was a time when the Wings was doing it. I don't know if you remember a player by the name of Von Wafer?
Yes, sir.
Von Wafer was a country boy from somewhere down there in Louisiana, but he was one of the best players in the nation.
Right.
And Ron put some players around Von Wafer. And all of those kids ate.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So I mean, it can be done. It's just not being done.
I'm not saying it can't be done, because it can be done. Let's think about this. Arkansas, the surrounding states on Arkansas is Missouri, Texas, Louisiana, Tennessee, and I think we touched Mississippi a little bit too.
Oklahoma.
Mississippi and Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
So we can pull from each one of those states.
Mm-hmm.
Like it baffles me. Like MoCan, they got Kansas City and Missouri, so they touch certain states. Texas touches certain states.
Yeah.
Nobody touches the richness that we touch. Like if we had the leadership, if we had the people to put the thing in place,
it would be amazing.
it would be absolutely crazy. Now, everybody ain't gonna make it.
No.
Everybody ain't gonna make it, because when you talk about those states, Texas, Missouri, Louisiana, like it's some talent that we can go and grab.
That's real.
But they're grabbing them from us because they touch us too. But we have to have the program.
Yeah, what's the draw?
Yeah.
What's the draw for Jason Tatum to come play with the Wings? Right? Now he did.
Yeah.
The last tournament of his 17U, because him and Malik was cool.
Right.
But why would you come here to play? What's the draw?
Because the Wings aren't around anymore, and their last few years, it wasn't
Fizzled out.
It wasn't that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So we again, I'm about solutions. Like, let's not just keep talking about the problem.
Right.
How do we fix it?
Yes, that's my question. What do we do?
Yeah. So that's the thing. It's like the leadership has to be in place, the right people, and the structure has to be put together, so that now we know, because can Jacob and Cortland play on the same team? And then if that's the case, Isaiah with us too, and Jay Sean with us too, and then now, how do you fit those pieces together so that now everybody gets what they want and what they need to get where they need to be? You see what I'm saying? And so those are the things that have to be worked out. It can't just be, I'll do it for Arkansas just because we want to do it for Arkansas, because a lot of our players are 6'4" and under.
Yeah.
And so now everybody can't play point guard, and everybody can't score it. Right?
But there was a time when there was Wings, Hawks, Rockets, and they all went and played national, and everybody ate. So it can happen. It's just not happening.
Yeah, it's just not happening.
It's just not happening, because it has happened. It's just not happening.
Yeah.
And when was the last time the Wings were on the EYBL circuit?
That was right before the pandemic. It was the Woods.
Yeah.
It was the Woods.
Yeah.
I was coaching. As a matter of fact, man, I had it to before it all dissolved. And I don't know what happened. I still got some questions on some of that. But man, think about this team. I got a picture and I'll put it up. But I had a team of James Elgis out at Henderson State. I mean, well, not Henderson State, but his dad coached at Henderson State. Jay Sean Hayes, Isaiah Seeley, Jackson Conley, Jacob Lanier, LeBron Christian, and there was one or two more. But think about that. Those are all D1 players.
Everybody that can go in that class.
Yeah. And Jakes was a year behind, but played him up.
Right.
And that was going to be under the Woods program.
Right.
But it just pandemic.
Something happened.
And then some things happened, the pandemic happened. And I don't know if it's the people pulling, and before you know it, we went our separate ways. Yeah. Pandemic happens, and then now blank. But that was the last time when it was like, I think they were in the 7th grade, 8th grade.
Really?
So imagine that team, right? And excuse me if I forgot somebody, but
I never coached the Woods team.
Yeah.
Like, it was never the Woods when I was there.
You were Wings.
Yeah, it was the Wings when I left, and then shortly after, I think Monk gets drafted. His brother's part of the administration.
Yeah,
the Woods is actually, the name comes from Lepanto, Arkansas.
Right.
So what happened? I don't know.
And it's crazy with the grassroots thing, because like you said, we got all these surrounding states, but man, people are starting to tear into Arkansas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We got to play those.
Okan,
Right.
Bramleyville, you know what I'm saying? I remember like back in the day when Khalil was playing, man, Connell, man, he teamed up with Penny. You know what I'm saying? And like,
It was an Arkansas team.
That was an Arkansas team. You know what I'm saying? They was on the circuit. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it's not went away from that, man.
No. Paige did it. Paige did it. He took some kids and went over to pro skill. Now I think that kind of fizzled out. Something happened. I don't know. I ain't in that business. But it tried to happen, right? But it just didn't. It didn't just get itself going.
Yeah, because it ain't our thing.
Yeah,
It's like,
you know what I'm saying?
you're
It's
going
like
to be a part of somebody else's, but it ain't your thing.
And then the thing about that, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, I guess I heard Bill them emerge with somebody in Memphis. You know what I'm saying? You ain't finna let nobody come and take over. You know what I'm saying? Yo, what you done put together or whatever. So I think that's how that pro skill thing was.
Yeah,
you know,
But you got to remember, we are a very small state.
Very.
I had no clue, and this is crazy. I'm pretty sure we rode together to
Kansas City.
Yeah, to Kansas City.
Yeah.
My first time ever seeing Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
And all of our parents. I think we were just parents at the time, right?
No, we were just parents.
We were just parents.
Right.
Yeah,
we rolled down there. Me and Pip.
And
Pip
Pip,
was in the truck.
yeah. We ride down there and Keith.
I'm beefing with y'all too, because y'all made me drive the whole time. I don't forget nothing.
Put the gas in. But we see this tall, light-skinned kid, and I'll never forget. The mamas in the bleachers are saying, he's too old. He's too old. Now this kid is this much taller than everybody. Sean Williams still a monster. Like they couldn't stop him.
Right. Shout out Ladera.
But this kid is about that much taller than Sean and doing everything he can do and some other stuff. Well, look, Kelvin Robinson, the kid's got the ball and Tatum's got it, chin and elbows out, and little Kel slaps down at the ball, pow, slaps him in the face. Kid starts crying. Right now, I'm in the bleachers. Tatum, like a tear comes out of his eye. And I looked at the parents, I was like, yeah, he a third grader too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that confirmed it. Like for me, I was like, that's something different. And none of us, I mean, maybe y'all had, I'm from the country. I hadn't seen no kid that tall in the third grade as a point guard. And lo and behold, that's Jason Tatum, NBA champion this year.
Quick story on that, man, just to communicate to that. You remember I think after that year I started helping Kel coach, right? And so we would go down there and we would, at some point we started beating them. And I used to think,
they were St. Louis Eagles?
No.
They're team 3-1-4.
This was when they were third grade, fifth grade, something like that. They were still babies. And so this is to Arkansas parents and just people in general, right? Raising our kids. I'm watching him play the point guard for the first 2 or 3 quarters, JB. They killing us. Well then Jason's dad, would take him off the ball late in the game. And that's when we make our run and we beat them 4 out of 7 times, 6 out of 10 times, something like that. And I used to think, man, this dude dumb as hell, man. He don't know what he got. He taking him off the ball, he this, that, and the other. So peep this, AG. Later on, I see him, and I'm thinking, man, this cat don't know what he doing with that kid.
Got a clue.
I see him in the 10th, 11th grade, and he ain't on the ball no more. He in the short corner. He in the high post. He on the wing. He doing everything. He doing everything, right? Guess what? He ain't worried about them damn wins in the 6th grade.
No.
And you know what I thought? I said, man, you know what? I'm the dumbass.
Daddy was a player though.
Daddy played with Larry Hughes. I'm a dumbass, right,
Yeah.
JB? And so I seen him. We went down. I took my second.
Developing him.
I took my second group. Jake. This is by the time Jacob now was young, because I got a 26-year-old with JP. So this is Jacob's time to go down there. And I seen Justin, and I went up to him and I told him, I said, man, Justin, man, I thought, man, you was a dumbass dude with that kid. But I realized now, I realized over time what you were doing.
Yes.
And I told him, I said, you know what? I got a kid now. He in the 3rd grade. I'm doing the same exact thing, right? Just developing, not worried. Man, who gives a damn about a 6th grade win?
Right.
Who gives a damn about an 8th grade win, 9th grade win? Develop, get better, play multiple positions. Quit worried about scoring the basketball. Go down there and rebound the ball. Go down to the guard. Go do some different things, and you never know what you got. And so that's just
Exactly.
talking about youth basketball. People get caught up in my baby got to have the ball in his hands, and my baby got to be the one shooting.
One dimension.
Man, develop your game.
All
Yeah,
around.
and hey, that goes back
All
to the
around.
what you saying goes right back around to the ranking babies.
Yeah.
Like, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
If you've been through it, you know.
Yeah.
But don't waste your time explaining it to somebody who ain't never been there yet.
Yeah, that's
Because we
real.
didn't know
That's
until I
real.
saw
You
Taylor.
didn't know till you saw it.
Until I saw, I was like, dang, dude is
That's
not
real.
a great exception. Like his
Yeah.
birthday's in January,
Yeah.
and my son is 5'9" with his tennis shoes on, and his birthday in November. So that kid younger than my baby, right? But I mean, same kid emotions. He'll cry if you smack him in the face in the 3rd grade. But look at him now.
Yeah. And shout out to both his parents.
Yes.
But really big shout out to his dad, man. I don't think he gets enough props, man. And you know, I'm a big fan of that family. I met the mom. I don't know the mom like that, but the dad, man. Shout out to him. I think sometimes us as fathers, man, we get a tough draw. You know, Jason explained the story about how his dad coached him hard at times, and sometimes people look at that weird. But,
Right.
you know, and then also Jason tried to clean it up by saying, if he didn't coach me that way, would I be here?
Exactly.
Right. And so
We watched it.
Yeah,
We
man.
watched
Oh
it.
my God, man. Yeah. So shout out to that. But I'm sorry, Rick.
Look at the kid from the kid that's at the Knicks. The Knicks
Brunson.
point guard.
Jalen
Brunson.
Brunson. Yeah.
Same type of deal. Same type of deal.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at that, if you look at Jalen Brunson in those old films or whatever, you never would have thought
Never.
he was going to be an NBA player.
Nah.
But somebody has to have a vision past what
Right now. Yeah.
right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now.
Mhm.
Right now. So we talked a lot about a lot of different aspects of this. I mean, our main topic was the influx of our young people in this state going prep. We got probably 4 of the top
Man, yes.
20 some odd kids that's going prep. What do you guys think about kids that already have offers? Already have some high major offers, so forth and so on, but also going prep. What do you think?
Excuse me. I think if they have high major Division I offers and they still go prep, now they really want to get better. They want to play against the guys who aren't the guys, and that's how you get better. Iron sharpens iron. So you being the best one on your high school team in Arkansas and killing everybody in practice,
Right.
is not gonna help you get better, right? If you can play against the top 5 stars in the country
Right.
every day in practice, you gonna get better.
Right.
You're not gonna get better just killing everybody at your hometown.
Yeah. I think it's one of those situations to where, you know, it's what's best for you, you know what I'm saying? That's just like with Courtney and Jacob, you know what I'm saying? They got a lot of offers, yeah. I mean, but the thing about it, they're going for what's going to develop or help them or what's fit for them, you know what I'm saying? Like, you might have some kids, I heard somebody say the other day, they was like, well, he don't need to go prep, you know what I'm saying? He already got all his offers, but then you got that kid, let's take, I don't know, let's say Luke. Luke might need to, it might help Luke a lot more to get on that platform to go prep. You see what I'm saying? I mean, you just got different examples and situations for different type of people, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean.
And it may be a situation, I mean, and I don't know specifics. Luke hadn't played a lot of point guard.
Right.
Luke may go to Sunrise Christian specifically to play point guard.
Right.
And get those point guard reps
Yeah.
every single day in practice, and get those point guard reps when they go play Mont Vernon, and they go play Prolific Prep, and they go play Oak Hill Academy, so forth and so on.
AZ Compass. You know,
AZ Compass.
Hold up.
AZ Compass.
So don't get it up as that.
Hey, man, don't get it twisted, man. But
But that's what people don't get. They just look at okay, why is this kid going prep? But here's the thing about it: who's to say what's challenging him?
Right.
Who's to say what's challenging his family?
Right. And I didn't want that young lady to get it twisted. That kid is a dog. Like, he really is.
He is.
I wasn't on that post. I didn't want her to feel like I was saying he was a 5'6" kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to go back and clean it up with social media.
Right.
But he's one that can go.
Yes.
Like people are not going to prep schools because they calling and asking.
Yeah.
Right.
People are calling and asking for them to come to the prep school.
They can come to prep.
So it's a double-edged sword. But if you want to get better, and you feel like what you gonna see in practice every day not gonna make you better here, then so be it.
Jason, let's talk about your situation.
Well, I'm sorry.
Specifically.
Yeah. Well, let me talk about the overall comment. I think, like, man, I was blessed to be on a couple calls, and talking about Luke before the decisions happened, and looking at it, man, I'm all for that.
Right.
Like he might go, like you said, for a different reason than other kids will go.
Yeah.
Right. I think he's been undervalued here at Little Rock Central.
Absolutely.
Right. He's played with Boateng, which is a great kid, great situation. Now he has the opportunity to stand up a little bit. But it just so happens now he goes to Central when they young. They're going to rebuild this year.
Yeah.
So now do you go to Central and go get double teamed all year? You know what I'm saying? And not be able to show your game and not be able to take those steps so it's getting better. Because now, like you said, he gets to go and run a program. He gets to go and run a program on the highest level. There's a stat out
And
there.
that's a maybe.
Yeah.
Like, whoever goes,
Yeah.
don't forget,
You got to compete for it.
it's somebody from Dallas gonna be there too.
No, that's beautiful. I'm glad you said that.
No doubt.
But there's a stat that I think is 40% of kids that play in the EYBL Scholastic program, 40% of them go to the league. 40% of them go to the league. So now
somewhere in the NBA.
Now you're playing against pros.
Yes.
Like, this is the highest level of
Yes.
basketball in the 10th, 11th, 12th grade.
Yes.
Right? And so now, instead of just, for instance, my kid averaged 17 as a freshman. I think he averaged 18 as a sophomore. Why we gonna go to average 20?
We gotta go average 19.
No. I'm not even so. It's not a guarantee that Jacob gonna start at AZ Company.
You gotta go work.
He gotta go get after it,
gotta go
right?
work.
Like, he got the House Twins. He just had the guy from Sunrise that Luke is replacing. He transferred to AZ Company, so he's a
from
senior,
Sunrise.
right? But here's one thing I do know. Talking about specifically mine. 2 nights ago, he FaceTimed me, and I'm like, man, what's up? Where you going? It's dark here in the truck. He said, man, coach dropped me off at the gym. It's like 11 o'clock here, 9 o'clock there.
Want to get some work.
He's want to get some work. Want to get some extra work. And I say, okay, so he gonna take you home? Blah blah blah. He's like, nah, I'm gonna just Uber back. So now you talking about a kid making big boy decisions.
Grown man.
He ain't called me about no money to Uber. That's his money, his investment, right? And so now he's getting it at a different level. You got to either buy in. It's the old saying, shit, get out the pot. And so now every day in practice, man, he going against 4 and 5 stars.
Yes.
The coach expects you to be good every single day. If they're not ready because they got a team house, the coach stays at the team house and practices at 6 o'clock and they leave in the house at 5:30. If you're not downstairs at 5:25, 5:30, they're going to leave you.
They're gone. That's what they do in the pros.
They're going to leave you.
That's what they do in college.
And then you miss practice. So now, for all the people that are waking their kids up at 18 in the morning, hey baby, get up, get up, get up.
Nah, they do it on their own.
They not. It's and that's not a shot, but it is a shot. You know what I'm saying? So like, you talk about being ready, because I can't save him, and I'm not finna get up and call him and text him to get up. We started that work in the 7th grade.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We started that work then. So I think that's about the part about understanding, is your kid ready or not? Can he or she handle not having mom's cooking? Can he or she not having person putting their thumb on them to make them go? Because again, if we're in practice together and you pouting about something else, man, that's my opportunity to go on here and pass you. Because you start in front of me, but you sensitive today because your girlfriend broke up, your dog died, something happened.
Right.
But I'm strapped on, I'm ready, I'm waiting on you.
I'm locked in.
I'm waiting on you to slip. I'm waiting on you to slip so I can take your spot. So in that situation, kid has to get better and they have to be at a situation where they're bought into getting better. Then also too, and this is one thing to talk about with my kid. Imagine in 2 years when he goes and does his freshman year of college. It's like clockwork.
He's prepared. He's gotten 2 years of preparation.
We've already dealt with this before.
The habit that's formed in the 4th grade.
Yeah,
You know, the habit of getting up early and doing it.
Yeah.
Early.
This is what you do.
Early.
Yeah.
This is your way of life.
That's
anything.
But that's the seriousness of it at a young age,
Yeah.
and that's what I go back to saying, Reggie. Why I'm gonna reach out to a coach, and you ain't on that type of level. You know what I'm
You ain't
saying?
on that type of time.
And the thing about it, yeah, I get it. Y'all saying coaches supposed to help, but at the same time, guess what? You can go call a coach to do that. You know what I'm saying? If you're not really serious about it, you know what I'm saying? It's no need of me wasting my time, but that's the seriousness of it. You got your kid knows. Hey, do you know how many kids that went to prep and then got kicked out because they couldn't make it?
Yeah, couldn't handle it. Yeah.
Couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
And that's the
Send to
business
the house.
aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? That's the seriousness of it.
So now when kid gets to be a freshman and he's lined up against other freshmen that are 18, 19 years old, and he's been through this fire. Yeah, did it feel good? Hell no.
No.
Hell no. I'm struggling, right? You know what I'm saying? My boy ain't here. Y'all know me. Y'all know when y'all see Jake, y'all see me, y'all see me, y'all see Jake. Man, he gone. You know what I'm saying? And so now it's diving into other stuff here. But peep this. We made a decision about the 9th grade that we're gonna take it serious.
Right.
Ain't no turning back. Ain't no turning back. Ain't no.
Salute.
You shown you too
Salute.
good. You shown you too good.
Shout out.
So we gonna take these steps. And yeah, it's gonna be uncomfortable. Yeah, I'm gonna get on your nerves. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Yeah, but there's such a reward on the other side of it if you do right. And
Because
so,
guess what? You wouldn't put your son in another situation. A lot of parents won't do that.
Yeah.
And it's these parents' fault nowadays to why these kids are so soft, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you invested in your kid. You probably made your kid get up and do some early workouts. But he got in the routine to where, guess what? You ain't have to go get him up out the bed to go put some shots up or this, that, and other. You know what I'm saying? And that's the serious stuff. Man, Cortland go to that gym, man, his dad be FaceTime me. Man, Cortland in that thing working 3 times a day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he
They say Oak Hill is, I mean, from what Kevin was saying, that Oak Hill, that's like damn near military.
Man, it
They
is.
damn near military out
For
there.
Rondo.
And they in the middle of nowhere.
Hey, Rondo, Carmelo.
And they in the middle of nowhere.
that's the point I wanted to make. Like there's no hotels within like 45 minutes, 30 minutes of the place. So you ain't going there to kick it.
No.
You going there to work.
Going there to work.
You're going there to work, right? And so but again, going back to that, like when Cortland next year is at a school somewhere and he's lined up against the other freshmen, man, he been there. I know what it feel like. I ain't gotta go through this 2 months, this month of damn, I miss.
Yeah.
They used to, man. Let's go to work. Let's go
It's
to
a
work.
habit.
Let's go to work.
I was in college last year.
So now,
It's a thing.
so now you really on the level of a junior, sophomore.
So
You know
right
what I'm
now.
saying? Right now. And so again, does it feel good? Hell no, it don't. But if that's where you're going and that's what you're willing to express and sacrifice for, you got to keep this down with it, man. Rock and roll.
So how? I mean, we're getting close to shutting it down because we're getting a little bit longer time or whatever. AG, you communicating with Cortland, and he's at a prep school. He's at Oak Hill Academy. How's it been going? What's going on with
Well,
him?
he doesn't leave until the 30th,
Okay.
31st. He'll leave out next Saturday.
Okay.
And man, his dad just, he been working him out or whatever, and he's
I've been seeing it doing that breakfast club. Him and as I said and all that. Yeah.
They been messing around on that.
Shout out.
Yeah, but he's supposed to leave out. I hadn't talked to him the last couple of days, but they just working out, man. And he had to get some grades together before he got ready to go. But
That's real.
Everything getting together. Yeah.
I mean, the sky's the limit for that young person.
Man.
Sky's the limit for him because he's got an uncanny motor. And here's the thing about him, and I've said it on many of shows before. He guards and he can put that damn ball in the basket.
In the basket at a high clip.
Fast. in the basket.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And me and Kale, when KK was at Oak Hill, we'd have different conversations and that sort of thing. And KK's situation was a little bit different because he had a guy on the team. I don't know if y'all remember or not. He had a guy on the team, Cam Thomas, that hell a lot of times he didn't even let the fucking ball touch the floor. You know what I'm saying? He didn't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was
Brooklyn.
exactly. So it was an adjustment for KK. KK went from Bryant High School,
The man.
two championships at Episcopal. Bryant High School played in the state championship game where he was the man. Till sometimes he go 3 possessions where he didn't touch the ball.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be an adjustment. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be an adjustment.
Cam shot it like that at LSU. He was at LSU.
Man,
That's where
he didn't let the flow touch him.
He 25 shots a game.
Nah, but that's a part of learning and figuring out
It is.
where you fit.
Yeah,
like Corlin might not go up there and average 20.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He might go average 15, 12.
That's
right.
But that 12 might be better than that 25 he scored at Harvard.
Well, that's the situation he was in with Jasper this summer.
Yeah. That's
You know
right.
what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
So,
That's right.
yeah.
That's
And
right.
that boy Jasper, he's going to OT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think he did sign with that OT thing, but
Yeah.
I think he's trying to go to Kentucky.
Man, you mentioned something about grades. Somebody said something about grades, and I want to get this clear too. Like I've seen some people talk about prep schools and education and all that stuff. It just depends on where you go.
Right.
Like, that's a big thing in our house. My kid is a 3.8 kid, and so that's something that's important to us and to him. And that was had a big part to do with the decision of where we went. AZ Compass is on an accelerated learning
Right.
program. So
Right.
now he can, like, a semester's worth of work is really worth a year.
Right.
So they getting it in, right? They getting it in. So it just depends on where you go. Some prep schools, it might not be as prevalent, the academic side of it. But, you got some prep schools that are actually preparatory schools that are getting you ready. So he could actually graduate, this coming year.
That's tough.
Right? He can go to college next year if
tough.
this is what chooses to happen.
Right.
Or if he stays for another year, he could be taking freshman level courses
Right.
as a high school senior. Right? So it just depends on where you go and what your preference is, right? But it doesn't all, because I see people, they don't do nothing but just play basketball. No, get outside the box.
Yeah.
Don't make it convenient for you and your argument, because sometimes it's more than what you think and what you know. You might not know, right, until you get outside.
And people don't know.
And even me, you get out here and you like, damn, I didn't know this. Because now we got to have NIL conversations. Now we got to have agent conversations. Now we got to have representation conversations.
And I hate we didn't get into that.
Now we got to have all these other things that are really, really things that you got to talk about, right? Versus just, he ain't scored 25 points a game.
Right.
You, like you said, don't even worry about explaining. You won.
Yeah,
You won. You right. You won. Yeah.
And that's another aspect that we didn't get into.
Yeah.
I hate that we didn't get into.
Right.
That this state is holding some young people back on as well, because these kids can go to other states and have some NIL opportunities that they don't have here. That people the layman person don't understand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The layman person don't understand. There's a difference between prep school and post grad.
Yeah.
You can go graduate high school and go post grad. If you don't like your options, or whatever, you can go play post grad.
That's what JayNReg is doing. Justin, man, he's going
Yes.
out from Easton. He graduated, and now he's going to Link.
Garland, Kobe Garland did the same
Kobe,
thing. When
and
he
went to
played
Link.
post grad,
Yeah.
as opposed to, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's opportunities.
There
There are options and opportunities.
COVID showed us that a kid ain't got to go to school. They ain't got to be in a traditional class.
There you go.
That's when I quit.
They ain't gotta be in
They ain't gotta go to school.
They don't have to be in a traditional
I got a
class.
computer.
Right.
got a computer.
Hey, I learned how to cut grass on YouTube.
Look, COVID showed you ain't got to have an office to go to. You ain't got to go to the office. You can work in the house.
Work in the house.
Man, this has been some great conversation, and we could go on for 2 hours, 3 hours. Unfortunately, the iPad and the freaking card that Jason got on there don't allow us to do all that. So we're gonna shut it down. Any parting things you guys want to share? Anything, Jason, you want to share? JB, you want to share? AG, you want to share?
Yeah, we're gonna give them the honors of doing it first.
Man, I just appreciate y'all for having me on, man. Hey, y'all doing a good thing. Keep it going. But I just want to say, parents, we got to get involved with these kids.
That's right.
I mean, I think that's 90% of what's going on today, and we got to get more involved with these kids.
Absolutely. JB?
Man, I really appreciate the opportunity. Two of my favorite people. One guy.
Are you just saying that, man?
Nah, man. You showed me how to make money refereeing.
I get it, man.
Me and Jason linked up with our kids years ago, man. And I really appreciate the opportunity. I'm so proud of y'all and what y'all doing, man. And it's opening some eyes. I've been watching for a while now.
Open some doors.
We appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Like I said, Jason kind of, I ain't gonna say he twisted my arm, but it's something we've been talking about for years. I mean, I consider this dude one of my best friends. We get on the highway, man. We done traveled all across the country, you know what I'm saying? AAU stuff and different stuff or whatever, and we just talk. And what we talk about, I mean, we could be on camera giving it to people, and that's basically what we try to do, man. And he basically just twisted my arm and say, hey, man, I'm not asking you to do it. I'm telling you.
There you go.
And what y'all don't know, Reg got actually, and he did a hell of a job today hosting it. This is our first time hosting the actual show. We normally come on here as you know, back and forth, but him hosting it, you know, this is what he went to college for. And so that's just one of those things that just, man, look, you know, you see a talent in a friend, and we had talked about it for years.
Absolutely.
And said, man, hey, man, look, you need to be doing something, leading something. And so it got to a point where I was like, nah, man, I got the camera. I got this, man.
Right.
We're going to do it.
I want y'all to be patient with us because we're going to get our technical stuff together.
Yeah.
And we're going to continue to, like I say, we're going to continue to do this and give you some good stuff, man.
Yeah. But nah, man, what I'll say is, man, I think it's to each his own, you know, with the whole prep school stuff. Right. You know, I think Arkansas basketball is in a great place. We got some really talented kids, whether, you know, whoever left, but, you know, we got some, I think that, you know, the JJs and the CBs and the Kellen Robinsons and Jay Sean Hayes and, you know, all those kids, even the younger kids. Yeah. No doubt. Shout out to O and Isaiah, man. Those are my people. But even the younger kids, the Brandon Wrights, man, Mayo's son, man, got a chance to be really good.
Absolutely.
Ethan Polite, you know, Jamal Holden up there in Conway.
Sprat.
Sprat. Yeah.
I think that's the next one.
What's the kid named Marmar up there at Spring?
Yeah.
So man, we got some kids that really got a chance to be good, right? And it doesn't stop or start with just them, because there's a lot more that I didn't name. Man, if that's the choice that you decide to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's just, if your kid is ready for it, you know, go do it. Don't do it for likes or shares or just to be cool. Cause this shit hard. Like man, it's a tough decision. You know, we're in the throes of it right now. I haven't made the decision 2-3 weeks ago. You know, now we're here. Right. And so now 6 months from now might be a little different when I can go to a game or something. But right now we're in a tough spot where it's like, damn. But we're not gonna run away from sacrifices. Yeah, right. We're not gonna run away from, you know, him being able to do the things he wants to do to fulfill his dreams. You know, we're not gonna take any ideas to the grave with us. Whether we pass, fail, do great, not do great, man, we're gonna put our best foot forward. So
that's real.
I suggest that to all people, man. There's people out here, like you always say, if you see somebody that has a blueprint, follow it or ask questions. Man, there's a couple guys, man. Ethan Polite's dad, man. We talk on the regular. I owe you a call too. I need to call you.
He was a lighthouse kid.
Yeah. So I need to, and you got to call and ask people, ask questions, get uncomfortable. It don't have to be me. I'm not advocating you call me. But find somebody who's done it, who does it at a high level. You know, it ain't about the loudest person in the room. It's about the person giving the right information. And so hopefully that's what we're doing with JayNReg. You know, we're gonna have fun and laugh and joke and talk shit. You know, but at the end of the day, after all that shit's settled, we want to give some knowledge and some info, right? So that's what we brought these gentlemen on.
Bring some light on these young people.
Yeah.
And I mean, bring some light on you guys. Yeah. Anybody that we bring on the show, we want to be able to give you guys. We tell people all the time. We told Josh when he was on here, we want to give you an opportunity to pop your shit.
Yeah. There you go. And then also too, man, we want to give it like the fathers.
That's real.
Right. We want to give it like the fathers. I think fathers. You know, I think we're making a comeback. It's kind of like the light-skinned cat back in the day.
Right.
We're making a comeback, even though a lot of people don't want us around. You know, and we need to have a conversation. We need to have a show about that.
Absolutely.
But fathers are here, and a lot of people, a lot of friends that were my age that didn't have fathers. This is our group of us having our kids, and we're gonna be there to represent them and help be with them.
That's it. Absolutely. Well, we appreciate it again, man. Again, like I said, I appreciate it. Appreciate you, AG. I mean, you coming from Hope. Appreciate you, JB. Appreciate you for your knowledge and what you're doing for the game.
Yeah.
What you continue to do for the game. You know what I'm saying? You starting over. You got a young one. You coaching girls at Hope. You know what I'm saying? keep doing what you're doing, keep pouring into these young people, and you know what I'm saying, and just do what you love, man. Do what you love. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank y'all.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
No pause. Peace.
Peace.